Yes, good, good.
All right.
Well, I'm looking forward to this because I know that if anybody else's life is as disparate and unorganized as mine, then you'll probably be interested in this too. So you guys welcome Jeff Hotchkiss, right?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great. Excellent. Well, it's a pleasure to be here and to meet all of you today. I was asked to do this last minute. Jen knows my close friend and colleague, John Globe, who is sick today, unfortunately, so I'm filling in for him. Pardon? I do, right here, yeah. I'm filling in for him last minute, and for the first time in my life this weekend, I officiated a wedding. Never done that before, so I figure if I can jump in and officiate a wedding, I can jump in and do this. And what I'd like to do is talk to you a little bit about Xobni today and kind of go through our experience of kind of what we're seeing out there in the market with respect to how we're bringing social, with the convergence of mobile especially, to the market. My colleague John, he and I both kind of split up the business development duties at Xobni. He focuses more on the enterprise SMB angle, so mainly the prosumer demographic, whereas I focus more on the general consumer mobile kind of platform licensing back-end kind of model. And that's a broader demographic. That includes everyone from tweens all the way up to prosumers and whatnot. And together, he and I and our COO, we basically split up a lot of the distribution and monetization of Xobni. So I didn't see, how many of you have heard of Xobni before? Xobni. Have heard of Xobni? Okay, good. How many of you have used Xobni or maybe the Outlook plugin that we've had for quite a while? Okay, good. So Xobni's been around since 2006, and we were founded by a whiz kid computer science major at MIT who figured out, who concluded that searching for emails and attachments in Outlook was just a laborious process. So he developed a new series of algorithms that would instantly pull up a lot of this data in Outlook, kind of leveraging a lot of sort of the Google PageRank type searching. And little did Matt know that he was onto something tremendously very, very powerful, because the application of that core technology was just within Outlook. And so our initial version of Xobni was developing within the Outlook environment. And we basically were targeting, the general prosumer audience, particularly salespeople, executives, people who have an outward-facing role in an organization. For them, it was just simply a good inbox productivity tool. We have two go-to-market models. We have over-the-top clients, and then we license our cloud to these big partners. Our over-the-top clients include the legacy Outlook product, which is still cranking along. We have a plugin for Gmail that you can put into your Gmail inbox, and we're going to be spreading that across other webmail providers like Yahoo and Hotmail. And then we've got these mobile clients. We've had a BlackBerry client for quite a while. You saw that the BlackBerry Partner Fund invested money in us. Not much going on at RIM right now. But we did develop an Android client and launched that back in September. And yesterday, we launched our iPhone client. So if any of you have an iPhone, you can download Smarter from the App Store. And if you do that, if you download any of these clients, after you download the app, I recommend you go to our website, log in, and load up your graph, connect Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter, and that will give you a richer experience. And it'll give you kind of a better feel for how our technology works. Our second model is this platform licensing. And what we're doing is we're licensing our cloud to these large providers, and then they would bundle it within their solutions out to market. So what is Xobni, and what exactly are we onto that's what we think is pretty promising? We essentially offer a technology that rebuilds your address book on a very tactical level, but what it's really doing on a more intrinsic level is restructuring your social graph. So we basically look at your communication graph, primarily emails, but we can also look at call logs and texting and all these other communication mediums that we use, like LinkedIn and Facebook and Twitter. And we basically then create profiles for anyone and everyone you've ever communicated with. What this does is it solves that use case of, you go into a meeting or you're trying to get a hold of someone and you didn't add that contact to your address book, right? Or you can't immediately access them on Facebook or LinkedIn. What we do is we create a profile that you can easily access anywhere from most of the devices and peripherals that we work on now. So this is what we like to say is that we build an implicit graph on top of your existing explicit graph. And we define the social graph as kind of being these two things. The explicit graph is anyone that you have a digital handshake with today, or anyone that you've added to your contacts, whether it's in Gmail or on your phone or whatever provider you've used, or in your PST file in Outlook. Those are hard contacts. That's your explicit graph. And your identity on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter is in some degree a bulletin board. It is a marketing engine for you. To another degree, it's really you. But our belief is that it's not entirely you. And what's interesting is we're trying to supplement all of that by building out your functional graph or your implicit graph. And this is another realm of communications that you have with people, but that you may not have a digital handshake with or a complete digital handshake with. So this is an attempt for us to sort of realize the potential of Xobni with primarily right now the carriers. We created one very specific for AT&T, which they demoed at their developer conference at CES a few weeks ago, and it got rave reviews. And so we're moving forward now into a prototype project with their internal kind of engineering teams to potentially add this as an over-the-top application or an embedded application in some of their phones. And to be clear, the platform we're looking at right now is Android because they have the most APIs available on the handset. But we're receiving a lot of interest from Microsoft and Windows Phone and Apple's TBD. Right now, we can't because they have a strict sort of API control over their platform. But certainly, they're interested, and all these major phone players are definitely interested.